founder and CTO and CEO of TechIDManager. Today is January 8th, 2026. This is the live demo presentation of TechIDManager for people who are curious about what TechIDManager is, people who don't know much about it. This is a high-level overview. I will talk some about why TechIDManager exists and the problem it solves. Then I'll bring up the product and I'll show you some of those features, theoretical, actual in practice. TechIDManager mostly does privileged account management for managed service providers. This is dealing with the privileged accounts that MSP technicians or IT technicians in an enterprise with a bunch of different subdomains use to access and do privileged stuff. Those global admin accounts, those domain admin accounts, local administrator accounts, those accounts that technicians use all the time to do the work of IT. Traditionally, those have been shared accounts. A shared account that all the technicians use, a shared account that has static rights, has a static password. Sometimes they'll do password rotation on it on like a 30 or 90-day basis. Scripting, people do that with scripting often. But when you start to look at the cybersecurity guidelines and requirements that go around privileged account management, there is a lot more to it. I was at an MSP for many years. I saw how privileged account management was done in that MSP and the industry in general, and realized that needs to change. We really need to be better managers of those privileged accounts. The problem comes when MSP technicians then often access many, many different clients. And all these technicians really should have all their own accounts that are just in time, password rotated, rights protected, accounts themselves protected extra. All of that needs to happen. And that is very difficult to do manually. So TechIDManager takes the best of all the practices of privileged account management, automates all of it, adds a lot of asymmetric encryption, a lot of protection on those accounts, a lot of automation. So we do unique account creation, we do shared account management, we do just-in-time accounts, we do managed accounts, we do offline access to the accounts, we do cached credentials for vaults, we do vault passwording, we do everything related to password and privileged account management for an MSP. That's a lot of words. How does it work? And we do that with a lot of efficiency. How does all that work so efficiently for an MSP technician? Let me show you. This is the TechID client. Each line here represents one account that TechIDManager has made or maintains or keeps and provides access for me as a technician to get into one of these places. We can see here that this is my account for 𝗔𝗰𝗶𝗁. This is my account for 𝗁𝗵𝗆𝗁. This is my account for a local machine named server. This is a shared domain account on the 𝗂𝗵𝗶𝗀.net domain named MSP admin. You can see here, this is a Macintosh account that's just in time. There is a wide variety of types of accounts that I, as an MSP technician, am granted access to by my managers. When I have one of these accounts, how easy is it to use? So I have Screen Connect here, or ConnectWise Control. What we need to do, the problem that we are attempting to solve, is when a technician gets to this point, they are at a login screen, they're at an elevation prompt, they need to enter anywhere they need to enter credentials to get access and do the thing that, whatever thing it is the technician needs to do, they need those credentials. The technician brings up the TechID client. Somewhere in this list are credentials I need to get logged into this client. And we can see that this client is the 𝗫 domain. I could type here and search for 𝗫, but there are a couple different 𝗫 accounts, and there could be thousands of accounts here. I could scroll down, I could limit by type of account, or I can just click this search windows button. When I click this search windows button, the TechID client went out on my computer, looked at all the windows I had open, said these windows are probably remote connection tools. You are probably trying to connect to this place with these remote connection tools, and here are the accounts that will get you access to those places. Of all those windows, including the multiple 𝗫 accounts I have access to because some are on local computers, they said, no, you're looking for a 𝗫 domain account. This is the account that you probably want. It is the account that I want. It's a 𝗫.org domain account. It is unique to me. Its password is last rotated at around midnight last night. This is my username on that machine, martin_black.mit-admin@𝗫.org. There's a wide variety of formats you can use for usernames that TechIDManager creates and maintains. This account was automatically made when our manager gave me rights on 𝗫. To use this account, I could copy the username, go back there, paste it, and I copy the password, go paste it back in. But I don't want to use my copy paste buffer. I want to just directly inject those credentials. So I click send both, tell the TechID client where to inject those credentials, and it's going to inject those credentials for me and get me logged in. This is only one of several ways that you can use these credentials to get logged in. We have Windows Credential Provider so that you can do this easily from a mobile device and get logged in real quickly. We have the copy pasting, we have the direct credential injection, we have integration with all remote connection tools. And then you can see I'm logged in as a technician, my name, I do what I need to get done. It's all traced and logged to me, which swings all the way back around to that compliance piece I was talking about earlier. All the cybersecurity compliance guidelines and frameworks say that actions of an individual need to be traced to that individual. What a lot of people kind of glaze over is who should be able to trace these actions of an individual back to the individual. A lot of places, in my opinion, and the learned opinion of many experts, say that this cannot be just the purview of the person doing it or of the MSP. Your policies and procedures can kind of wrap around this, but what really should happen is anybody that has access to the authorization system on this machine or looks at this machine should know who logged in, what they did, all those kind of things. The only way to achieve that is to have a unique account for each technician. And that is what we do by default. We also support the shared account with the logging in our system so that you can go see who did what. We have integration with many MFA providers. There's a lot of stuff there that helps. So you can see I got logged in as a technician, do what I need to do very quickly. That was this 𝗫𝗺𝗺 account, this domain account that was unique to me, that's just enabled all the time. Password rotates every day around midnight. But that's only one type of account. Like I said earlier, we do a bunch of different types of accounts, and these icons uniquely specify the different things we can do. That was a domain that's unique to me. We can do MAC accounts that are unique. And in this case, this MAC account is a just-in-time account. This account doesn't exist or is not enabled until I, as a technician, need to use it. Let's look at this 𝗕𝗏𝐼D account here. This is an 𝗕𝗏𝐼D account or an Azure AD account that is unique to me, that is just in time. This account either doesn't exist or is disabled with no rights until I need to use it. When I use it, I click enable. Sometime in the next 60 seconds, TechIDManager will create that account if it doesn't exist, enable it, set rights to it, and you can see there that it's done. Set rights on that account, set a password on that account that is unique, and encrypt it with a key that only I have access to, and send it back to me as a technician. Then I can use this account anywhere that TechIDManager would grant me access. Anything that this 𝗕𝗏𝐼D account would grant me access to, a local machine, a domain, 𝗕𝗏𝐼D infrastructure, some resource group, whatever it is, that account is enabled and I can use it. We can also do like this local administrator account. It is a Windows account that is shared between multiple technicians. It is the default administrator account on the machine. We took that account over. We rotate the password every 24 hours. We make sure that account stays enabled, protected, and all those other things. Also, we can make that type of local administrator account into a just-in-time account so that when a technician needs to use it, when they need to use it, they just come in, they click enable, then that account gets enabled on that local computer. The password is set on it, encrypted, and sent back so that just that technician can see it, that technician can use it. After some duration of time, that account is on all of our just-in-time accounts, no matter whether they're on Mac, Windows, domains, 𝗕𝗏𝐼D, wherever. After all of our just-in-time accounts, after a certain amount of time that you can specify, by default it's 2 hours. You can make it longer, shorter, whatever you want. After that time frame, that account is automatically disabled. All the rights are removed from it, and a password is set on that account that is never told to anyone. That way the account is as dead as possible, but because of the cybersecurity requirements to maintain logging and traceability, that account itself is not disabled. That UUID is saved. The next time that same technician needs access to that same place, that same UUID, that same account is re-enabled, rights re-provisioned to it, and a brand new password set on it so that that technician can use it for the next duration of time. This is the most compliant, secure way to do just-in-time accounts. So much better than anything else out there in the market. There's also a bunch of organizational features. You can organize these accounts into any way that you want to organize them. Arbitrarily deep tree structure here. You can see the details on the accounts. You can see the complete history of the accounts. This little icon here, right here, forced password rotation, is an interesting concept. Though we are rotating the password on all these accounts every 24 hours, and these are just-in-time accounts that only exist when needed, every cybersecurity guideline, incident playbook, incident response, they all say the same thing on the first couple, somewhere in the first couple lines. Rotate any suspected administrator passwords. This button allows you to choose any account that you have in TechIDManager that we're managing the account for, say this 𝗫 account, and you can click this button. That password is going to rotate for the my administrator account on 𝗫.org in the next 60 seconds. That means that the reason for doing that password rotation, and the speed at which you can do that, is so much faster than going manually changing it. You don't have to have access. You don't have to write it down anywhere. You just click this button. This is available for an individual technician to do whenever they want. This is also available for a manager to do in mass across all of the places where technicians might have an account. So a manager go in and say, rotate every admin password on 𝗫.org. As part of the incident response, that is a single button click for a manager. Lots of good features like that built in. We also have one-time password sharing. If somebody is somewhere, a vendor perhaps, that needs access, and you maintain a vendor-specific account, like this administrator account, or a vendor-specific account, you give some technicians access to it, then that vendor needs access, you can securely share a one-time access to that account with the vendor. This is early functionality. This is very useful for an MSP that's managing access for other vendors to get in. It's also very useful when MSPs are managing access for an individual at a site to get in via one of these shared accounts. Speaking of individuals on site, we do a lot of co-managed, where though an MSP technician has access to administrative accounts at all of their client sites, at one particular client site, somebody is permanently on site who works for that client who also needs administrative access. The MSP can resell TechIDManager to that company, and then that person can use TechIDManager to see a limited set of privileged credentials that they have access to. As part of that, they can see, you can share with them vaults of passwords, as well as they can put in personal passwords in there. Because we are managing so many passwords and so much access, managed access into places that we can control accounts, create accounts, rotate passwords, we also have password vaulting built into the product. So MSP technicians can go one place and get all the credentials they need access to. There are many, and it's all built on that same underlying foundation of asymmetric encryption, which means that as passwords are transited around the internet, over servers, through things like that, none of those places can read them. No man-in-the-middle attacks can get them, because the information is encrypted for only the person that it's destined for. That means it's not encrypted and sent and then decrypted and then encrypted and sent again. It's encrypted end to end is the marketing phrase that talks about it. It's a very, very secure way to do it. It also means that though we are storing, as Ruffian, as TechIDManager, we are storing hundreds of millions of passwords around the world. High privilege credential access, high access privileged credentials into many, many of our customers' customers. But we can't read any of them because they're all end-to-end encrypted, only with the key that is specific to the technician that needs access to it, and that technician is the only one with physical access to that key to decrypt it. It is some minutia of cybersecurity and encryption and cryptology, but it's something that like tickles my heart and makes me so happy that that is the way it is. It makes us not a value target as far as hackers go. We don't have any information that's valuable to hackers. If they took all of our information, they would get 0 passwords, because they would have to spend so much time breaking the encryption. And then when they broke the encryption, they would get the keys for one technician, not for everyone, which is different than any other vendor out there. That was a lot of talking. Let me take a quick sip of tea and we'll continue. Another important aspect of privileged account management is rights. The rights that are granted to a specific technician in a specific place need not be always every right everywhere. Every technician does not need to be a global administrator or domain admin for everywhere that they have access. Least privileged security or least privileged access is ingrained in every cybersecurity framework, and it should be ingrained in your policies and procedures. A technician only should have the level of access that they need to get their job done. TechIDManager supports this with our rights groups and our agent groups and our triplet groups and our triplets that connect these things. You can specify, we can cover in more detail if you'll do an individual demo with us, but you can specify which technician gets what rights, where they get those rights. Then we automatically make and set the rights on that account, and we maintain those through time. So if somebody accidentally raises their rights or lowers their rights, or an account gets accidentally deleted, we remake that account. We reset the rights on it. We make sure that the rights stay at the level they should stay at, because that's the way it should be. We can do least privileged access across a wide variety, all the places that we make and maintain accounts. So that is, in general, what TechIDManager does. We do password management, we do privileged account management, we help MSPs be efficient at getting the access they need to get the work done that they need to get done. And we do this with the tech client on Windows. We have a tech client that runs on Mac. We have a tech client that runs on mobile. We have lots of ways that they can get access to these credentials and use them. It is meant for technician efficiency at getting through privileged accounts. All right, that has been our demo for January 8th, 2026 for TechIDManager. If you think this fits your needs, you think it can be expanded to fit your needs, we have a lot of other stuff that TechIDManager does. We'd love to talk to you about it one-on-one. You can go to techidmanager.com, and in the upper right corner, there's a request a demo button. There's a bunch of documentation there. We are very transparent about what we do and how we do it. Come to a demo. Love to talk to you. Have a great day.